Hello everyone and welcome back. Today we'll be looking at a game called Slay the Princess. A game where you have to kill the princess. Let's get into it. Chapter 1. The Hero and the Princess.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess.
So this is a visual novel, multiple different endings but kind of fused together maybe, voiced by Jonathan Sims, who I actually liked in the podcast The Magnus Archives, which is pretty good. So yeah, it's fully voice acted, so I won't be speaking the words, but I'll be talking in between.
You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
Look, I know I've got a job to do, and I'm gonna do the job. Explore. The end of the world? What are you talking about? Have you considered that maybe the only reason she's going to end the world is because she's locked up? Killing a princess seems kind of bad though, doesn't it? Can someone else do this? Forget it. I'm not doing this. You consider that maybe I'm okay with the world ending? Okay.
I'm talking about the end of everything as we know it.
And what are you talking about?
No more birds, no more trees, and perhaps most problematically of all, no more people. You have to put an end to her.
Okay. But how can a princess that is locked away in the basement end the world?
Linger on the specifics. You have a job to do here. Just get in there and do what needs to be done. We're all counting on you.
Okay. Do I have some kind of weaponry or something? Killing princesses seems kind of bad though, doesn't it?
Look, you're already on the path that leads to the cabin. Why would you be here if it weren't to complete a very important task?
Okay.
Made it this far, you might as well reach the end of your journey.
Might as well slay the princess. It's in the game. Okay, so this is exploring, I guess, talking about it. So I think we should go through all this. If you consider that maybe she is the reason, or maybe the only reason she's got to end the world is because she's locked up.
While I appreciate the mental exercise, we are running up against a bit of a ticking clock. Nevertheless, let me assure you, the princess is locked up because she's dangerous. She is not dangerous because she's locked up. And before you decide to waste even more of our time by asking how I know that, let me suggest a more pragmatic lens through which to view this situation.
Yes, please explain to me.
Causality doesn't matter here, because the end result is the same no matter what led us up to this point. If the princess leaves the cabin, the world will end, and there is no change.
But how will the world end? Are we talking about like cracks in the ground, like some kind of rapture?
There's no use arguing semantics over
here?
A metaphorical chicken or egg, because the egg is hatched and it's about to ruin everything. Unless, of course, you do your job and slay her.
Slay her. Okay, well, fucking let's fucking slay her. I'm sold. Let's get this over with. Yeah. Sweet. I've always wanted to offer Monarch. Viva la revolution. I'm sold. Let's do it.
As long as you remain focused on your goal, it should all be smooth sailing.
Let's climb up the hill.
You make your way up the short path to the cabin. You'll find the princess within. A warning before you go any further.
Okay. I really like this kind of art style, like movement we're going here, like pencil kind of scratches. Kind of cool.
She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her.
Right.
Don't believe a word she says.
No problem. Look,
we're not going to go through with this, right? She's a princess. We're supposed to save princesses, not slay them.
Well, yes, but depending on what kind of character we are. Maybe we're like a, self-righteous paladin, We must complete our oath.
Ignore him. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
Proceed to the cabin.
The interior of the cabin is almost entirely bare. The air is stale and musty, and the floor and walls are painted in a fine layer of dust. The only furniture of note is a plain wooden table. Perched on that table is a pristine blade.
This blade is perched very, precariously. It's just hanging off the edge.
The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
Okay. Small blade. Could we have something a bit longer?
You take the blade from the table. It'd be rather difficult to slay the princess and save the world without it.
I want kind of a big sword or something. Oh look, our cursor has changed. It's now holding a knife. Interesting.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase faintly illuminated by an unseen light in the room below. This is an oppressive place. The air feels heavy and damp, a hint of rot filtering from the ancient wood. If the princess really lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor.
It's a musty basement look. The house in crisis is pretty bad these days, so not to date the video, but I don't think it's gonna get fixed in how many days or weeks, so probably not gonna date the video.
Her voice carries up the stairs.
Who's there?
It's me, Dominoes.
She sounds dangerous. It's almost as if she's the one in charge down here.
Is she locked up?
Don't let it fool you. It's all part of the manipulation.
But she is dangerous.
Good. You're still listening to reason.
Silent protagonists.
You walk down the stairs.
Oh, she's broken one of her
lock
chains.
eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement.
Right, the stab.
She's so coldly beautiful. Is she really a threat to the world?
Focus on the task.
Yes, yeah, she is.
And there you are. Are you here to kill me or something?
Can I reply with something? Still your nerves, and so none of these say explore, which I don't know if that will change the different outcome we're gonna get, but why would you think that?
That giant knife you're holding kind of gives it away, doesn't it?
Maybe I'm here there to cut your bonds. I didn't know you were chained up. It could have been ropes.
The blade. Of course she doesn't want to talk. Who'd want to have a conversation at knife point? We should drop it.
What? No, don't do this. Do not drop the sword.
Don't you dare. It's fine. We can decide what we want to do after we talk to her. Maybe she really is a monster, but killing someone in cold blood isn't very becoming of us.
Speak for yourself. We will tighten our grip.
You ignore the trembling in your hands and tighten your grip on the blade.
You poor thing. Your hands are shaking. Are you scared of me? Because you should be.
Why is that? Huh?
You step forward, your grip on the blade tightening as you steel your resolve.
I'm probably chained up in this basement for a reason, right? And if that knife is the only weapon you have, you'll have to get close enough to use it.
Yeah, see, this is why we want a big sword, like a pike maybe, or a spear. Just jab her from the side. You know, the Romans had the good idea.
So, you should just drop it. Best not to risk finding out what I can do.
Okay. If I don't kill you, the world ends. If you kill me, the world ends. So...
She's unarmed. If you hesitate now,
I'm just
it'll be
gonna
too
walk
late.
and start stabbing forward. What if she isn't bluffing?
You go into this expecting to die, you're going to die.
It's true.
Hesitating? Why don't you drop the knife and the two of us can be civilized with each other?
I don't think you're in position to, you know, argue with me.
Then I'm not talking to you.
Oh, you just did, so I win. Take that. Squint at the princess while
You
holding
stare
onto
at
the
the
blade.
princess. squinting. She squints back.
The two of you are going to do this forever, aren't you?
Shut up, voice. I mean, we're going full squint.
You
Yeah,
squint
sure.
even harder.
It's like
So
I'm
does
trying
she.
to
At least nobody's dying right now.
make out where she
Going
is.
to have to make a choice. You can't keep squinting forever. Eventually, someone is going to have to blink.
Slay the princess.
Charge the princess, blade trembling in your hand.
Look at
But
this.
you've already lost the battle.
Already lost the battle? What? Before I like, we look like we're like some kind of evil monster. Like, so maybe we are the monsters, and that princess is supposed to be, I don't know, like a hero or something.
She casually sidesteps your thrust before knocking you to the ground with a single blow from her elbow.
Okay, she just beat the shit out of me.
We shouldn't have hesitated.
Should not have hesitated.
But she doesn't stop there. She kicks you a few times for good measure, the pointed tip
Oh my
of her
God.
shoes feeling like a pickaxe against your fracturing bones.
It's
making
fucking
sure
stomping
you
me.
stay down. As you lie, crushed and broken on the basement floor, the princess kneels on your throat with the kind of weight you didn't think her slight frame could possibly possess. As you gasp for air, she eyes you with an intense curiosity.
Interesting.
You shouldn't have let that fear creep into your heart. You had the upper hand. And now look at you.
I should have just rushed.
Is this really the best you could do? Look at you. Completely broken. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't a little disappointed.
She applies more pressure, slowly squeezing what's left of your life out of your lungs.
Okay, so maybe she is like bigger
This is
than
the
she
end,
is.
isn't it?
She's got a little cut there.
I'm afraid it is. Everything goes dark, and you die.
Well, thanks. That's cool. Chapter 2, The Tower.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
Okay. Getting a terrible sense of deja
Terrible
vu.
sense of deja vu? No, you don't have that. This is the first time either of us have been here.
If he doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it's best to keep it that way.
You know I can hear you, right? It's going to be a lot harder than you think to keep secrets from me.
Okay, so he can read my
What does it
mind.
matter what he knows? There's nothing we can do to stop her. She's just going to kill us again.
Voice of the broken, huh? So
She
there's
is not going to
multiple.
kill you unless you let her. But slaying the princess and
Personalities.
saving the world is going to be much more difficult than it has to be if you spend the whole time second-guessing yourself.
Just turn around and
hasn't.
leave.
Or if it has, I certainly haven't been a part of it. We've just met for the first time, you and I.
Okay, so quick save. Turn around and leave.
We should just leave.
Get
There's
out of there.
nothing we can do to stop her, so we might as well enjoy what little time we have left. Seriously? You're just going to turn around and leave?
Yep.
Do you even know where you're going?
Nope. Just away from her.
Fine. I suppose you just quietly continue down the path away from the cabin. That's strange. It looks like this path also leads to the cabin. How convenient. Everything's
very
back on
convenient.
track again. Maybe the world can still be saved after all.
Turn around and leave. Again.
You're really keen on wasting everyone's time, aren't you? It's remarkably selfish, if you ask me. I've already outlined the stakes of the situation. If you don't do your job, everyone dies. Like, dies. Forever.
I died before, so...
But Fine. You turn around and trek back down the path you came.
Wait, something isn't right. Can you still hear me? You're supposed to wind up back at the cabin again.
Okay, secret? I think it's getting fuzzy.
What's going on? Where are we? We're dead, obviously.
Wrapped up in some hair? The world around you, the world around you is unwound. Physical matter replaced by texture, nothingness. It is quiet. There's a distant rumbling, the sound of many sounds. The undulates pulse, louder as something other comes close. Feelers probe across the fabric of reality. Extremities find your consciousness and wrap themselves around it. You are no longer alone. Resistance. Fingers drag claws across the glass surface of your souls. Frustration. This vessel is full of you. I need something empty I can crawl inside of. It needs to be something shaped like me. Boom, empty slot. This is a nightmare. Embrace your thoughts. Urgency. You have a story you need to finish. It is the only way for us to escape this place. Force pushing against your will, no. You cannot go back, not there. Regret. This world is broken beyond repair and we must weave something new. A wagging finger. There is only so much thread in this place. Do not waste it. I am your only salvation. Chapter 1. The Hero and the Princess.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her.
Okay, we do have a skip.
If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
Okay, so this, we actually died.
You make your way up the
see to the cabin. Now, skipping is stuff that we've already heard, so I'll probably skip
The
through
interior of the cabin is...
stuff. Do we take the blade? Yes.
You take the blade from the table.
Into the basement. We are going to just walk up, stab.
The door
That's
to
it.
the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase faintly. Her voice carries up the stairs.
Who's there?
Say nothing.
She sounds dangerous.
Don't let it fool you. It's all
It's all
part of the
manipulation. Continue.
Good. You're still listening to reason.
Stab her. If she grabs your hand, break the wrist, walk away.
You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement.
She's so coldly beautiful.
Focus on the task at hand.
And there you are. Are you here to kill me or something?
You step forward.
Steel
your
your
grip on the blade
nerves.
tightening as you steel your resolve.
Oh? No talking then? Fine. What even makes you think you can kill me? I'm probably chained up in this basement for a reason, right? And if that knife is the only weapon you have, you'll have to get close enough to use it. So,
We know that.
you should just drop it. Best not to risk finding out
We're
what
not
I
gonna
can
drop
do.
it.
She's unarmed. If you hesitate now, it'll be too late.
Say the princess.
You lunge
Fucking
forward
run.
without a moment's hesitation.
Stab, stab, stab. Right in the stomach.
You feel flesh easily give way.
Okay, in the
and
chest,
look
that's
down to
okay.
see your blade already sinking deep into her heart.
That's sure. Let's say that's where the heart is
Oh.
now.
This is it, isn't it?
Yep.
I'm almost embarrassed. I should have seen that coming. But I have to wonder. Do you actually believe this was enough to kill me?
Kind of, yeah.
It's like she's convinced she can't die. Yes, even as she lays there dying, She entirely believes herself to be alive and well.
Interesting. Is it like some kind of mind magic type thing?
But it's over, isn't it? She stopped breathing moments ago, that arrogant look still plastered on her face.
Cut her up. Send the different body parts to the four corners of the world. Hoping
Is it
she never
over?
revives.
Really over. It's over. You could check her sleeves if you want, but I can assure you that there's nothing hidden up there.
I mean, it's kind of rolled up. She doesn't really have sleeves, does she?
We should make sure. What's the harm in checking for a pulse?
I don't know about this.
I
Stab
really
harder.
don't think you should do that. And why shouldn't we? Is there something you're not telling us? I've told you everything that's happened with complete accuracy. The princess is dead. Your blade pierced her heart. There's no coming back from that.
I mean, removing the blade, I feel like, let's just do a quick save. What happens if we remove the blade?
You lean down and wrap your hand around the blade's hilt. But as you begin to slide it out of its resting place, you feel a sharp and sudden jab in your side.
No.
What was that?
She stabbed me?
I guess I won't be dying alone after all.
Quick, let's get out of here. It's too late for that now.
Nope.
You
we're
collapse
dead.
to the ground as the mortally wounded princess twists a blade of her own deeper between your ribs.
Stab her again. Oh look, our cursor has red blood on it now.
As you fall, she falls with you, exhausted by the effort, the little life that was left in her eyes fading rapidly.
An eye for an eye. A life for a life. I guess we're even now. See you around.
So she knows
You
that
were
there's like
so
a time thing.
close. Why did you hesitate? It doesn't matter. At least you managed to take her with you. For whatever that's worth. Everything goes dark, and you die.
Chapter 2, the razor. This is different than the other one.
You're on a path in the woods,
Okay.
and at the end of that path is a...
Okay, so we're just gonna, you know,
Yes,
she's dead.
exactly.
Get the fuck out of here.
It's over.
It's over.
With your work done, you make your way back up the stairs, closing the door to the basement behind you.
Alright. While you're at it, just put that table in front of the door.
Why do I feel like we've done something terrible? You did kill someone. Greater good or not, something would be very wrong with you if you didn't feel at least a little bad. But it was for the greater good. One of these days that will sink in and help ease your guilty conscience.
The greater good. I still don't like this whole me being kind of like a monster and then the greater good. Hearing all this stuff. There's something going on.
But that day isn't today. Let's just get out of here. You open the cabin door, ready to return to a world saved from certain doom. Only, a world saved from certain doom isn't what you find. Instead, what you find is nothing at all. Where a lush forest stood mere minutes ago, the only thing in front of you now is the vast emptiness of some place far away. What happened?
What did happen? Did killing her end the world?
Everyone is fine. It's just that you and the cabin are now far away from them. Don't worry. You'll be safe here. This is good.
The
Everyone is
unreliable
happy.
narrator.
You'll be happy. This isn't an ending. In fact, now that the princess has been slain, endings are a thing of the past. No.
It's the beginning.
This is the beginning of eternity. Your reward. This is what's best for everyone. Trust me.
I don't.
Time passes. You can't be sure if it's days or months or years or even decades. It's all a wonderful, boring blur. You've never been happier. Psst. Hey, we're not just going to stay here forever, right?
No, I guess not. Didn't you hear that, narrator? I'm happy. We're happy.
Are we really happy? Or is he just telling us that we are?
It's true. Or maybe I'm not happy, and I'm not just saying that because you're the last person I talked to.
Good, because I have an idea to get us out of here.
Oh no, are we going to unalive?
The blade. We can use the blade to get out of this. I can hear everything you say, little voice. There's only one thing it would want you to use that blade on, and I'm afraid that thing is you, dear hero. He's right. It's the only way out.
So we can't run away. We can't slay
You
her.
hear that? It wants to take this happiness away from you. It wants this wonderful place to end. Do you not? There's more for us to do, and the only way for us to do it is to take that blade and use it.
Okay.
Don't you dare.
Wouldn't using the blade, you know.
How astute. You are absolutely correct.
Wouldn't that do that?
Using the blade to kill yourself would kill you, and you shouldn't do it. In a sense, we die, but looking at things from another angle, are we even really alive anymore? This place, it's nothing. It's absolutely nothing. It's just the same thing, constantly, forever.
True.
I know this is out there, but trust me, I know using the blade will work.
Why do you know?
That little voice didn't want you to slay the princess. It didn't want you to be happy.
I'd be right about this. I'd be pretty upset if we die.
You can yell at me all you want. I made this happy little place for you. Is this not a good enough reward for saving the world? An eternity of bliss? You ingrate.
Could have given me some books or like a computer or something.
Fine. Whatever. For the first time since time stopped meaning anything, you throw open the door to the basement and walk down the stairs. The princess's body is dust and bones, though the blade you used to slay her is still as pristine as the day you first held it. You pick up the blade, you stab yourself, and you die. The end. Nice knowing you.
Okay, well, chapter 2, The Spectre. They didn't even get
You're on a
to do
path
anything.
in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin.
There's a cabin.
And in the basement of that cabin is a princess.
So I wonder if each of the chapters are randomly generated or randomly picked from a few of them, or if they each of the kind of endings lead to a different one. And if so, we've seen 3 unique ones so far, so that's a huge spider web.
You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
Okay.
It hasn't. Or if it has, I certainly haven't been a part of it. We've just met for the first time, you and I.
So he doesn't remember.
If he doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it's best to keep it that way.
Thank you, voice of the hero.
That's fine. It wasn't very hard to kill her last time. We'll just do it again.
Voice of the cold.
Well, if for whatever reason you're going to insist that this has happened before, at least your heart's in the right place.
Alex is saying I'm telling the truth and all of this really did happen. Why should I listen to you?
Those are 2 very different questions, but fine, I'll indulge you if that's what it takes to get you moving. Let's say for a moment that this really is the second time you've met me, or at least a version of me. If you're back here, I'm assuming you died, which probably only happened because you didn't listen to me.
Kind of true, yeah.
Oh, we listened to you plenty. We slew the princess just like you asked us to, and then you locked us away in an empty void for eternity. So we slew ourselves too.
Yep, that happened.
Well, if you killed yourself, then you weren't listening to me, because I would never want you to do that. Believe it or not, I care about you.
I don't know, it's a very manipulative narrator.
And I believe your other question was something along the lines of, oh, what's the point of doing anything? If you're asking that, it sounds to me like you're making the rather dangerous assumption that your actions last time around didn't have any consequences.
Okay.
What do you mean? Of course there weren't any consequences. We slew the princess, the world outside the cabin disappeared, we died, and now everyone's right back where they started. That sounds pretty consequence-free to me.
Maybe they're not back to where we started.
Yes, but in this purely hypothetical scenario, that begs the question of how you got back here. Did time simply rewind itself, or were you instead transported to a different world entirely? Had you failed to slay the princess, what would have happened to everyone in the place?
So like a multiverse kind of timeline thing. That world is saved, but if we don't save the princess, this world will be doomed?
It doesn't matter, because we didn't fail to slay her. And if she's really back, which I doubt, it'll be just as easy to do it again. But after that nasty trick you pulled on us, maybe she's not the only one around here in need of slaying.
Okay, the voice of the cold is... he's kind of a badass.
Just stay focused, will you? Just be quick about it.
Yeah, let's talk about this princess. If anything, the world ended after I slew her.
That's a good point. How do we know we didn't have things backwards? Maybe slaying the princess was what ended the world, not the other way round. Yes, maybe this whole thing was a trick to get us to end the world. And now we get to go through the whole charade again, wholly aware of what's waiting for us at the end. But that's assuming she's alive in that cabin. We did kill her, after all.
And she was human.
You're going to find her in the cabin. If the princess had actually been slain, you wouldn't be
She had a
here.
knife as well.
And let me assure you, killing her will not end the world. I don't know what you think happened to you last time, but it's a load of nonsense. You'll get your happy ending. I promise. Well, that's exactly what we're afraid of.
Yeah, what is the happy
Really?
ending?
Living happily ever after sounds that bad to you. Oh well, there's no use arguing over your masochism. The cabin awaits.
Okay, in we go.
She just can. You have to
She
trust
just
that
can
what I'm
die.
saying is true.
It just dies. You stab someone in the heart, they die. That's fair enough. Who locked her in the basement?
People locked her in that basement, and I told you what this place is.
People?
It's a path in the woods.
You didn't say
Don't
humans.
overcomplicate things.
If people locked her away, why couldn't they slay her? It's true.
Look, I'm not supposed to say this, but it's because you're special.
I'm special?
You're the only person capable of doing this. Call it a prophecy, if that helps.
I don't believe
But
it.
it's just the way things are. Oh, I didn't know we were special.
Voice of the special.
Of course we're special.
Okay. You need to take that off about 20% there, voice of the cold. Being cagey.
I've told you everything you need to know.
What
Going
aren't
into
you
more
telling me?
detail would just overcomplicate an otherwise very simple situation and make your job more difficult. This is boring. He's clearly not interested in talking. So let's just do as he says. And maybe he'll stop bothering us.
Okay, that's all.
Great. Now, if you don't mind, the whole world is waiting with bated breath for you to save it from ruin.
Proceed to the cabin.
A warning before you go any further. She will lie, she will cheat,
Oh yeah, we know this.
she will do everything in her
We know
power to
this.
stop
She's not
you from
that
slaying
good.
her. Don't believe a word she says. She won't be a problem.
Yeah. We already just charged at her, stabbed her around the chest. Everything was good.
The interior of the cabin is cold. A soft
The interior
odor
of the
of
cabin
earth
is
permeating
different.
the air. Cobwebs flutter in the corners. You can hear wind whistling outside, banging the shutters against the windows. The only furniture of note is an elegant antique table with a pristine blade perched on the edge. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
Okay.
It feels like no one's been here for a long, long time.
Yeah. I don't remember this. Maybe I wasn't paying attention, but I don't think it was the
Like I've
same.
been
This was
saying,
definitely not there.
She's dead. We killed her already. That's because there isn't a mirror. There's a table, the blade sitting on the table, and the door to the basement. There's nothing else in here. There's definitely a mirror.
We can see a mirror.
There isn't. Who cares if there's a mirror? Let's just go into the basement and find her body so we can be done with this.
I want to look at myself. I want to see how handsome I am. Approach the mirror.
You walk up to the wall next to the basement door. It's a wall. There isn't much to see here. This really isn't funny.
Wipe the mirror.
Reach
clean.
forward and rub your hand against the cabin wall. I hope you know how ridiculous you look right now. But it was there a second ago. And now it's gone. Let's not spend much longer worrying over it. Clearly it's not even important enough to be acknowledged.
Or it's too important to be acknowledged.
Very different.
As yeah, the door is a bit ornate, and
Maybe
the
that's
wall-
because you haven't actually been here. I hope this means you'll finally drop that ridiculous second life proposition. You haven't died. You certainly haven't already slain the princess. So focus up. A lot's riding on this.
Let's take the blade.
You take the blade from the table. It will be difficult to slay the princess and save the world without a weapon.
Let's enter.
The door to the basement groans
This
open,
is also different.
revealing an old banister and a creaky wooden stairwell. Everything is coated in a thick layer of dust, and you can feel it settle into your lungs as you breathe in the stale air. The very building itself feels dead.
So this is called the
If the princess
Spectre.
lives here, slaying her would
Wonder
probably be
if
doing
this
her a
has
favor.
like the environment has something to do with the name.
The room below is silent. Nobody's here. Naturally. As much as I appreciate the optimism, you shouldn't be so sure.
It's called the Spectre. So is she a ghost now?
I guess we'll just have to go down and
Like
see.
a banshee?
As you descend the final step, the form of the princess comes into view. A skeletal body lying in a heap on the floor,
Okay, so
its
she-
wrist still bound to the wall by a thick chain.
Is dead?
Okay, she's definitely dead. It's just like I told you. Before you have a chance to finish your thought, the top of a head appears from underneath the floor. Two deep-set eyes stare up at you, followed by a
Knew it.
mischievous
She's
skeletal
a ghost.
grin. And finally, the rest of the body floats up to join the head. Wait, this isn't right. What's going on here? Ghost!
Fucking Scooby-Doo over here.
Oh. Wow. How absolutely terrifying. What's a ghost supposed to do to us?
I feel like she's like a...
Oh, it's you. Hiya, Keller. I was hoping to see you again. I have some issues with how our last meeting went.
Because you didn't kill me.
The princess drifts across the room into your orbit, gently running her fingers across your shoulders and down your neck as she circles.
Can she possess me and like kill me?
Her touch is cold and ethereal, formless yet real enough that her icy fingertips send shivers dancing across your skin. So she has a body, and she's right there. That means we could kill her again, if we wanted to.
Does she have a body? She's a ghost, right? Okay, so quick save. See how this plays out.
I see you brought that annoying knife again.
I did. I like the cursor.
So, are you waiting for a chance to use it? Or are you here for something else?
I want to talk to you. It's already
Yes,
happened.
obviously things are strange right now. I think it's safe to say that you've
Try it.
seen something you shouldn't have seen. Whatever worlds you've hopped between, whatever versions of me you've met, none of that matters now. There's no changing what's already happened, but you have a job to finish. Finish how? We already did what you told us. Now
He's a
she's
ghost, yeah.
Ghost.
The princess is slayed.
You haven't tried slaying her yet this time, though, have you?
With what? Like the
And then what?
pristine blade?
And then you'll have saved the world. I think he's asking about what happens after we save the world, if that's even still an option. What do you mean, after?
Like, what is saving the world? Like, you keep saying saving the world and people will be happy. Is that because they're not going to exist anymore? And therefore they can't be sad, so they are happy?
You already know what we mean, don't you? So why don't you go ahead and tell us? Are you going to try and lock us away in a timeless void again? Because I didn't much care for that.
Yeah, I didn't like that either.
I'm not going to lock you anywhere.
But somebody is.
What an interesting choice of emphasis.
I killed you. What are you doing not being dead? Do you know why you came back? Stop playing the victim. You threatened me last time. Shouldn't have done that. Okay, let's ask, like, do you know why you came
How
back?
should I know? Why does anyone come back? Maybe I have unfinished business with you. Or maybe you have unfinished business with me.
Okay.
All I know is there's a hole in my chest. And not the big obvious one that you put there. There's something older and deeper.
Okay, there's a hole in your chest.
A nagging reminder that I'm not where I'm supposed to be. Home.
Okay, where is home for you?
Just where is home, I wonder?
I don't know where home is. I just know it isn't here. But I can feel it calling to me from someplace far away.
Maybe if I kill you, you'll go back home.
Wherever I'm supposed to be, it's out there.
How specific.
Oh, this is
How
let her go.
convenient for her. You see what she's doing, right? She's suggesting that the only way you can rid yourself of her would be to let her out, which, in case you haven't been listening, will spell the end of the entire world.
Do I need to bury those bones? You threatened me last time. Stop playing the victim.
Well, yeah, you brought a knife with you. Was I supposed to just welcome you with open arms when you obviously had stabbing on the mind?
The knife could have been for anything.
It could have, but it wasn't. You can't blame me for threatening a would-be knife-wielding murderer. Especially when that would-be knife-wielding murderer became an actual knife-wielding murderer.
It's true. What are you doing not being dead?
I don't feel very bad, but I guess I'm not dead. So you must have only mostly killed me. Or maybe death is only mostly real, but it's also mostly not real. I'm not sure. I'm just the one these things have happened to, not the one with all the answers. Or any of the answers.
Right.
But we're not a ghost. Unless we are?
No, we're like a monster.
Maybe that's why the mirror disappeared. We're actually dead. Death, at least as a form of permanence, is just a concept. And clearly it's not a very useful one anymore.
She gotta tell us what we look like?
See, this is why I didn't want you to talk to her. Death is not just a concept, it is an extremely
kinda just skipped that
real
end, dude.
phenomenon.
A little bit.
Don't let her distort your reality. Cold, hard facts exist. The truth exists. It has to.
It has to. Why does it have to? Your body's right there though, your dead body.
The princess glances back at the bones lying on the floor.
It's just a body. Do you believe these bones? Or do you believe me? Because those bones aren't talking to you.
Okay.
She's seeing things pragmatically. We should do the same. Reality is what's in front of us, not our preconceptions of what it should be. There doesn't need to be a static truth. There doesn't need to be objectivity.
Is there any way we can help? Do you want me to die? Do you want me to kill myself to satisfy some sort of secret revenge fantasy? Because I already did that. I won't do it. It wouldn't be hard to do it again. What do you want from
A
me?
way back to where I belong. This place won't let me leave. At least not alone. I've tried. Before you came back to me, I explored every inch of this place, even the spaces between the walls. But I never found a way out. I always
Okay, I
wound
forgot
up
she was a
right
ghost. She could just kind of
here.
go through the wall.
Maybe we should just...
But she can't do that.
If she can't get out on her own, then why do we have to do anything? We could probably walk out right now and everything will be fine. Hasn't got out and can't get out are two very different things.
Okay, that's true.
It'd be dull anyway. It's more interesting if we make a choice.
But you can come and go as you please, can't you? So, let me hitch a ride.
Ooh, I don't like that. I don't want anything inside my body.
After all, you owe me.
Oh, there it is.
Absolutely not. Is she asking if she can possess us? She is. But I hope I don't need to explain why you can't let that happen.
Spooky.
It would be catastrophic if she managed to escape this place. And if you let her in, there is very little anyone could do to stop her. Would she be able to see us if we went along with it? Now, isn't that an interesting thought?
So would she be able to
Finally bring her
listen to the
face
voices?
face with him. I wonder what she would have to say to the one who wants her dead so badly.
Ah,
You won't like how things play out if you go down this path.
but it is a path and we must go down it. Okay. If I let you in, do I still get to be in control? Or this would be only temporary, right? You'll leave once we're out of the cabin?
If I'm able to. But for all we know, that's not how it works. Maybe I'll wind up stuck with you for a long time.
We get voice of the princess in our head.
Don't much like the sound of that. It's crowded enough in here as is. It could be the best way to trap her for good. Doesn't seem like it would be very easy to end the world from inside someone else's body.
Well, I mean, he's kind of got a point there.
That is a very dangerous train of thought.
But like, it's like a soul trap. Sure, let's do it.
And what? You just believed that?
Tell us what
You
happens.
killed me without giving it any thought? That's cold.
True.
That's rich coming from her. Every time she touches us, it's like we freeze over. She's right, though, but that's neither here nor there.
This is the
What's done
cold.
is done.
Because we had
What we
no
do from
emotion, we
this point
steeled
forward
ourselves
is all that
to kill
matters.
her.
Let's try not to let emotion get the better of it.
It was wrong of me to believe that. How could you have ended the world if all it took to kill you with a knife? So these are explore, this is like content. Yeah, you didn't answer my question. Do you want to end the world?
The only thing I've ever wanted was to leave this place. It's still the only thing I want.
Okay. What are you gonna do if I help you get out of here?
I don't know. Maybe I'll just fade away. Finally able to rest once I'm free from my unfinished business. Maybe I'll find someone to haunt.
Okay.
Maybe I'll haunt you.
That's I've got enough voices to talk to.
It's a tough question, asking someone what she's going to do with her life.
Or
The princess
afterlife.
leans in close and pauses, the frigid air between you stale and unmoving.
Especially when someone is dead.
She pulls back with a playful giggle.
Yeah. Stop being playful.
I don't
fucking
think most
creepy.
living people could answer that either. Does anyone actually know who they are or what they want?
It does.
Yeah. So even if you don't want to end it, does leaving this thing end the world?
We're not asking you. We've heard your whole speech already.
Yeah.
I really don't know. I'm not lying to you. I promise.
That sounds very manipulative.
The world doesn't matter.
But she's a ghost.
All I remember is that I'm supposed to be there, not here.
Supposed to be
I think it's
there.
supposed to be a part of it. It's home, I think. But what does it mean for anything to end? I ended.
Okay, slowly
I
we're
also
getting some
didn't.
information.
I'm not so sure endings are real.
I mean, we know about that.
I don't know. I just wanted to leave. I still just want to leave.
Okay. So we can let her in our body. Assess me,
The princess swims through the air in
princess.
front of you, pausing for a brief moment
Why
as
she
her
doesn't stab her?
dark-rimmed eyes
No,
stare
that's
deeply
okay.
into yours. There's a hunger in her gaze.
You're really trying to make it up to me, aren't you? Thanks for being a pal, killer. I mean it.
Oh, I don't like this.
What are you doing? Don't just let her in. How many times do I have to tell you?
See you soon.
Hey, don't do the creepy face.
She rushes forward and then she's gone. A sharp chill spreads across your body. It starts in your chest, a freezing numbness flowing out from your heart all the way down your limbs, your mind growing cloudy and confused as it settles over your very soul. I'm not sure I like this. Can we get a do-over?
Nope.
I'm afraid it's too late to stop now. The numbness gives way to a stabbing pain, your muscles twitching and convulsing violently, each
Yeah,
involuntary
looks like we died.
movement causing more waves of agony to ripple across your
Just
body.
chill out and let me do it.
You collapse to the floor, and everything goes dark.
Come on, you. You've got to get up. I know everything feels heavy right now, but we still have to get out of here.
Your eyes flick back open as you get your bearings, your vision swimming as...
So this is what it's like to be you, huh? Disembodied voice narrating your every move?
Correct. Oh, so she can hear the disembodied voice.
So, it doesn't work like that for you? Clearly it doesn't, or she wouldn't have commented on it.
All these shards of broken glass on the floor. Are they also supposed to be you?
Hey, I'm not a shard of broken glass, I'm...
Shadow broken glass, huh?
It's okay. You can finish your thought.
I'm a voice? I'm me is what I am.
Different personalities or different memories?
Who cares what we are? We exist. That's all that matters.
Different timelines, maybe fractured timelines.
You don't have to fight. We'll all be out of here soon.
No, it matters. What we are matters. If I'm a shard of broken glass, then that raises some questions about certain other voices in here too. I'm clearly the same thing you are.
They're not listening to me. Do they not listen to you either?
No, I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about him.
Who's he?
You don't need to know
Oh,
what
the
I am.
narrator.
You just need to know that I'm
course.
different from you. More important.
So, you're the one who pulled the strings and made me dead. I can tell you don't belong here. You're barely even there. Like the shape of something left behind. You're more of a memory than a person.
That's
Okay.
rude.
That's rude. Fuck you.
You're kind of like me, actually.
I'm just going to ignore her. You push yourself off the ground. The princess is nowhere to be seen. Obviously, she's nowhere to be seen.
Because I'm in here with all of you. Everybody knows that.
I'm setting the stage. The room is empty because you made a spiteful, idiotic.
No, we
and
got
all-round
some
foolish
information.
decision.
That's what we got. So we know that each of the voices is like represents something, and the narrator is also something, but it's a memory. It's not necessarily the same thing as the other guys. Maybe that's why it doesn't retain its like
You don't have
memory.
to let him get to you. You're better than that. You're starting to make things right.
This is infuriating. Just whatever you do, you can't leave this place. It's not too late to fix this. Probably.
Ooh, okay. So I can slay the princess because we have the knife. But I'm just gonna walk.
Your legs, weary with the weight of the princess's spectral form and clumsy with the cold that still pervades them, stumble towards the stairs.
I didn't know ghosts weighed a lot. I thought they were actually weightless.
I'm just trying to get home. You don't have to act like it's the end of the world.
But that's exactly what you leaving this place is going to be.
You don't know that.
Wonder what Otto does.
I do. Wait, if she has a home to go back to,
It
doesn't
just
that
plays
mean
it.
that her leaving won't end the world? It doesn't mean that at all. It could mean that wherever her home is, it's outside of the world. Yeah, but it has to be somewhere, doesn't it? And if it's somewhere, then it's part of the world.
Unless there's multiple
I suppose
worlds.
it's all a matter of perspective. Where does the world end and something else begin? Does the destruction of one open a door to another? Or is it the same world reborn? Against the backdrop of the inane conjecture of meaningless little voices, your body continues its ascent up the stairs, staggering through the open door. For how much you hate her, you aren't doing a whole lot to stop us from leaving this place.
Because he can't stop us. He can just try and convince us not to do it.
Maybe the bossy one doesn't actually hate me. Maybe he even likes me. Or maybe he just knows that he's been in the wrong. Maybe he's trying to make amends too.
Not at all. I'll have you know that I do hate you. I will continue to hate you
I
for
hate
as long
you.
as I am able. It's just the weight of it all. It's too much for me to do anything other than describe and dictate.
Okay.
And whine. This body wasn't made to hold you and the princess. If you want to renege on your cataclysmically terrible decision a minute ago, well, you're the only one that can make that happen.
Trudge forward.
You continue slowly to the door, your feet like lead dragging across the floorboards, growing heavier with each step.
We're so close. Thank you, thank you, thank you. If we get out of here, I won't even care that you murdered me anymore.
Okay, so you do care.
You lift your shaking hand
Yeah.
and rest it on the door
It's the
handle.
monstrous hand that
You
we have.
pause before you open it, exhaustion sapping what's left of your will.
Push through.
Was exhaustion really the best you could muster up? It's over. There's no use stalling. Let's see what happens next. Shit. But exhaustion wasn't enough, was it? The handle clicks as you twist it, and then the door groans open. You collapse to the ground, you and the princess, free from the confines of the cabin. As you exhale from the effort, you look up and see.
Ooh, we can't hear him anymore.
Yes?
Nothing. He's gone, and so is everything else.
So we did slay him after all. He had it coming, I suppose.
So this is like the void.
What about us? Are we just stuck here in nowhere forever? Did taking her out of the cabin really end the world? We're still here.
And what is the world? Are we the world?
Yeah, but that thing you said earlier, are we not part of the world anymore? Are we in some world that exists after the world ends, or on top of the other world but not in it, or have we never been part of the world?
Okay, I've heard enough from these two. Let's see if I can pop out.
Okay, this might kill us. You feel a lightness in your chest as part of you, as a pair of sunken eyes emerge from your body and stare up at you.
Anna, you actually freed me, didn't you? I'm outside. Thanks for giving me a second chance, Claire.
Don't mention it.
Don't mention it.
This is where I'm meant to be.
Okay, so your world is like the nothing. Okay. Some creepy hands just fucking grabbed her. Oh, but you don't get the chance to respond. Something has taken her away and left something else in its stead.
Where did she go?
There's a mirror.
Try and find her? And there's that mirror again. Why is it here? Why now?
I don't know where she went, and I don't know how to even go about looking for her. The narrator is gone.
Does that mean the world ended?
Maybe he means like his world would end if we don't kill her.
He was never going to outlast us. There's something dreadful about it.
I think I'm supposed to look at the mirror.
I don't think you should. Ignore him. You have to look.
I don't even know where she's gone, and I don't know how I would go about finding her.
She's gone. It's just us and that awful thing. Don't bother looking for her. I'm sure it's just a waste of time. I'm
Press the
begging you,
mirror.
don't
That's all that we can do.
this. It's different now.
Yeah, it
it
didn't-
feels. I don't know.
Didn't scare you
Fine.
before. We gotta see who we are. You approach the mirror. Gaze into the reflection. Silence as you reach forward. They're gone, but the mirror remains. It's time for you to see what's in it. Okay. It's you. And a creepy man? You're alone in a place that is empty. It is quiet here. Okay, proceed to the cabin. You are at the cabin. Am I? Approach her. You reckon that's a presence inhabiting the shell. It is the entity that dwells in the space between.
Something returns to the long quiet. It has surrendered its path of annihilation and brings me the gift of a fragile vessel.
You're that thing that I met in the space outside the world, aren't you? I thought that was a dream.
Vague recollections, empty tunnels without a mouth. I am sorry if I frightened you.
What are you?
I am solitary lights in an empty city. What are you? Thoughts without connection.
Solitary lights, what do you
A
mean?
dim and nascent network. I wish to be more. I think that you are like me.
Am I the opposite? Am I like void? Like darkness?
We are oceans, reduced to shallow creeks.
She's the light and I'm the dark? That would make sense with the kind of, she's constantly drawn in like white. And my character is kind of drawn in black and grey.
Yes, nerves and fibers to feel the worlds beyond, perspectives to make my own. This one is vaporous. She is a dream for a life she could never have, but that longing has given her so much capacity for kindness. She will make for an understanding heart.
So are we making a body?
Do not mourn her. She will finally be able to hold what she never knew.
And this is our first piece. Okay. What is this the end of the world?
How can the world have ended if we are talking?
We live. Okay.
I'm sorry.
Let her out.
There are some changes that can never be undone. There are some tears that can never be unshed. This is not a place that can hold a fragment of a concept. The moment she arrived here, she was going to return to me. I promise that it doesn't hurt.
Okay.
You are the only thing I have ever known.
And I'm the narrator.
The space we're in is vacant. Nothing comes here but us.
You what sent me to slay the princess?
I have only just now stirred to consciousness. I could not have trapped you here, and I too yearn to be free.
You know about the world beyond this place?
I know only that they are. She is part of me, and part of me
Okay,
is
so
her.
we got some kind of maybe resurrection-esque shenanigans happening. But maybe we have to slay the different parts of the princess? Maybe different emotions?
You speak in circles. Does it matter where one thing begins and another ends?
I guess not really, in the grand scheme of things. What happens
Nothing,
now?
as we are. But I know that there are worlds beyond us, and that we are meant to reach them. There is no exit, but this vessel is a creature of perception. She can make you forget, if only you believe her to be able to.
Right.
Bring me more perspectives, so that I may be whole, and perhaps then we will know our freedom.
How much will I forget?
Everything, until we meet again.
How many more pieces do I have to find?
More than you have found, but less than there are to find. I
Wow,
am infinite.
thanks.
The rest will find their own way home.
And what if I don't let you do this to me?
Then we will be here forever, as we are now. Unfinished, dry, hollow.
Aren't you scared that I'll find a way to kill you?
I have not lived. I am not afraid to die.
Fair enough. I was sent to slay the princess to stop her from destroying the world. If I help you, is that what you're going to do?
You ask of things that cannot be done. To destroy is merely to reshape.
So yes. What are you going to do if I help
How
you?
can I know? I am flickers in something sprawling and unilluminated.
I'm going to
If you need time, then I'll wait with you.
wait forever.
You are as I am now, and forever is a long time to remain undone. I am not you, but I know that I would return before forever was finished. What textures will you weave for yourself to occupy forever? Will you place the images of you and I into a box for safekeeping? If you close that box, will you become another you in another world? An imaginary pattern repeating itself until it can no longer bear the weight of its hand-drawn cage. You'll always come back to the box, because you'll always want to know what it means to be you. I will be here waiting by your side until you're ready to return to mine.
Okay, well, very interesting how the game just shut down. So let's start it back up. Again.
You have returned to me.
Oh wow, okay.
Though you were gone mere moments, I never left your side.
So we could just leave it, right? Okay, make me forget.
She asks that I tell you to remember her. You won't.
Jesus Christ.